probably pulled over to look at a bear over there.
Yeah, we're missing it. No, I think they pulled over for,
One nice thing about this road is that it's one way, so
that's what I like about these over here.
you can take up the whole road, and you don't have to stay right.
No, I can ride beside you, get pictures of you for a change. Or I can scoot ahead. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist.
You're such a wild woman.
up to 25 miles an hour there, you know.
We've had a few people ask us how we record both sides of our communications when we're using our helmet intercoms. And so we thought we would explain a little bit about how we're doing that. We've tried several different ways to do it. We, at one point, recorded 2 different GoPro conversations with each one mic'd and then combine them in post-production. It's very time consuming, but it does work well. If you want to cut that post-production time down considerably, one way to do it is the way I've got this set up right now, and I'll share that with you now. First off, this is my Scorpion XO 18950 helmet, and here's how I've got it set up for moto vlogging, both sides of our communication. We're using this Lexin B4 FM radio. We just started using these ones this year, a little bit of an upgrade from our old Lexin units, and they're really no better, but they have FM radios built in. If you ever needed a radio, it's in there, and they have a different look to them. They're a little bit more sleek, but otherwise, you know, it works well for our line of sight voice communication, and that's all we really need. So that's the first thing, and they're mounted on both of our helmets. And then we have this is kind of a universal setup, so any helmet that has the pockets for the speakers, you can use this with it. It comes with its own speakers, comes with its own microphone. So there's a link for these in the description below, so if you're interested in these, you can check them out on Amazon. So that's the first part of it. And the second part, which is not wired into this at all, which means it's universal to whatever helmet communication system you choose to use. The other part of it is with the GoPro, and this is just a GoPro Hero 7. So I have that, of course, mounted to the helmet. If you have a Hero 5 or later, the next thing you need to add is the mic adapter, because all the newer GoPros don't have an internal mic adapter like the old ones did. So if you're a Hero 5 or later, you need this mic adapter. Link is in the description, and it's this little box right here, and from there we're plugged in. Now this is where it gets a little tricky, and this is where you have to know which parts to get. What we have here then is a Y adapter, and the reason for that is I've got my microphone that I want to record onto the GoPro, so I have my voice narrating the GoPro. That's separate from the radio microphone. So now that's 2 microphones. So they're both up in here. And here's what we look like. This is a modular helmet. So if you have a regular full face helmet or an open helmet, it's going to be different. This is just how I have it set up for a modular. So this is my microphone that goes into the radio, completely separate system. And then up in here, that's where the microphone is that goes to the GoPro, and that captures my voice on the GoPro footage. So that's one side of the Y adapter. And now you notice that I had to leave enough wire hanging here so that when I pop the modular up, it doesn't unplug anything. And I've learned that trial and error. This is about how I have to do it. And I have things taped together with gaffer tape. I like gaffer tape because it leaves less residue than duct tape does. I haven't tried like black electrical tape, the vinyl stuff, but you know, it can leave residue too. And I think it comes apart a lot easier. I have to replace this gaffer tape every so often. You can see it's starting to pull off in places. So I have to keep an eye on it and just keep taping it back together again. You can use Velcro. I had a little clip that would hold this in place with the Velcro. So now to the other side of the Y adapter, we have this going down into here to a little mystery location, and that location is actually the speaker that sits on my right ear that's part of the radio communication. All it does is puts a little microphone behind that speaker, and it picks up whatever's coming through the speaker, and in our case it's Tambra's voice. So when we have communication going from radio to radio, helmet to helmet, my voice comes in my speaker to the GoPro, her voice comes through the speaker to that microphone, and then in through the splitter. It's a low-tech solution, but it's universal, so whatever system you're using, as long as you have speakers in your ears, you can put a little microphone there and pick it up. It's not perfect from an audio perspective, but it's doing the job, and you could see from the examples at the beginning of this video how it sounds, and it's acceptable. It's capturing both sides of our communication. Here are the pieces that make it happen. So of course, first you need that GoPro Mic Adapter if that's the kind of setup you're using. If you're using the media mod on the GoPro, then you don't need this. Obviously you know that. But where it starts to get a little weird is this is the Y adapter that goes in there. Now the important thing to know, and there's a link for one of these in the description, or if you find something else, I would prefer these were a little more sleek. They're real bulky, and I haven't found anything. I did have one that was less bulky, and then they discontinued it. So this is what's in the link. But like I said, if you can find something more sleek, go for it. The important thing to know is this is a TRS Mini Plug. That's the standard that's being used by GoPro here, and that's what you're going to need to do what we're doing. So it's got 3 conductors, and TRS stands for the tip, ring, and sleeve, and those are the 3 conductors. And then the female ends still have to be TRS, and your microphones, it can be any kind of lapel microphone, lavalier microphone, whatever. I think that personally, I think the smaller the better. This one is kind of big. You're probably going to want to have this little thing on here to keep the the wind noise down. When it's tucked up inside a full face helmet, it does a pretty good job. Mine might not even have that on, I'm not sure. And then of course, this is important. That also has to be the TRS tip, ring, sleeve, 3 conductor, just like the Y adapter is. And so one of these microphones is going to be the one for you, and then the microphone that goes to the speaker, also TRS plug. The smaller the better. This one's a little smaller than that one. This one tucks up behind that speaker a little better. I have found them that were like little flat ones. Those flat ones are great, but I'm having trouble finding those lately. But the links for these in the description, and that's one. I think this one is the one that's you're going to have the link for, and that's what I'm using right now because it's the smaller of the 2. And I took the foam off of it completely. You don't need it if it's up in there behind that earpiece. You really need to be able to pick up as much audio as you can, and it sits in there and it's well protected, so you don't need any wind protection on it. And that's it. That's how we're doing it. A lot of stuff hanging down there. It's a little bit cumbersome, but I guess it's the price you pay if you want to capture all that conversation. And that's it in a nutshell. If anybody has any questions, put it in the comments below, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Try it out and see what you think. Love to see your results.